Top 1 my name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Zuko was a Black Lantern. So, the Black Lantern is from DC Comics. So, I just decided to create my own member of Black Lantern. But Zuko is different. So, yeah. So, the. Yeah. So, Zuko. Or in. Or, first of all, let's get into the universe that is in low where this takes place. So, there's tiers. Like A tier, S tier, and like, yeah. From the bottoms up. And it is. Instead of like random numbers, it's quirkless to the above. So basically all. So quirkless, quirked, eh? Quirkless, quirked, ability, lantern, and then all. So yeah. So Zuko is in the all category. Because he was born with flame as his quirk. It's called black flames. And, yeah. So, and I'm also adding Zumi. So, yeah, let's begin. After Zumi and Zuko were born, the Sashi was like wanted or it's similar to what if Zuko became a Nomu one, where it was but instead of like divorce thing, they he got a better like chum thing, but yeah. So his so he or no his or Inko kind of was like upset that but he will be in somewhere else. Oh, so yeah, but she's worried that she might he might end up with another girl. Oh, so then yeah, so so she tells him that the I hope that you're not gonna go with the another girl. Oh. Huh? So then, yeah. So he calls in almost every day to check on Inko and Zumi and Zuko. So then the day came. Quirk doctor thing. And at age 4, Zuko, Zumi, and went in to the quirk doctor. And, of course, Zumi, the quirk doctor looks at Zumi first and tells her that she has a quirk. And plus, the quirks, or actually, I forgot what it means in that universe. There's like the tears version are a little bit different. So the quirkless, basically a person in can't do anything. They can't get a job. Like after they go to school, then they don't have nothing. They're poor. Quirked is basically they have like $100 roll in. And then the ability is 5.9 million in dollars rolled in, and they can do everything. Or like they can basically, yeah. So, yeah. Zuko, or so get back to the story. So then after the Zumi went first, then Zuko, and told him that it was, or his, he doesn't have a quirk, so he's quirkless, and so his mother's like, oh crud. Probably the husband won't be happy about having a quirkless kid. So what does she do? She abandons him. Because it was, yeah. So then a time skip, and his quirk, or he wasn't quirkless. He had a quirk, but it was delayed because his body wasn't ready for it. His body wasn't ready to handle the power that it generates. Because black flame that he has, when he's ready, so he trains his body when he was only 5 years old. He trains his body so much that when he got to 15, I'm trying to find. He kind of looks like still the same, but a little bit more experience or he has like a 10-pack. So he goes to a quirkless school. So then, but one day, or time skip to All My Age versus All for One. As All My was down, but not out, as Zuko, was like there, but he was hiding behind a brick wall away from, not the same one that the Ochako, Momo, and the rest of them were, but on the opposite side, away from. So then he looks over and he sees like All Might was gonna get killed by him. So then the Zuko, whose power, like his lantern power, and he has lanterns abilities, like black lanterns, so he could create constructs, but, and he doesn't need the ring to, like, do it. So he basically a, yeah. So, but he also has the ability of zero infinity. So he's one overpowered Black Lantern that could destroy the entire world. But yeah. So if any of you are gonna ask me, like, in the comments below, of why do you always put him as a powerful infinity and zero thing? After seeing, like, Avengers and the Infinity Wars and Endgame, I was like, yep. Adding Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet's powers thing to any of my characters. So, Zuko is... So let's get back to the story. So Zuko could feel the aura of what will happen. So he comes out of nowhere. He wasn't really hiding that much, so he came out of nowhere as as All for One shoots a beam of light, as a dark, like, con of that one, a brick wall formed. Just like how that girl uses, like, telekinesis, well, Zuko's his hands had this black, you know how lantern thing, like, usually has the green black, or green comes out of the ring part? Well, Zuko used his version of it, and he blocks the attack, and he brings it closer. The attack, or the shield, was getting closer to whom, like, All Might, or no, All for One, as it boxed him in. And then his body was ready. As he sees, or the All Might, or everybody sees, like, black flames. As he says, his black flames, as he used a similar move what Endeavor did. And as he shoots the flaming arrow, like flaming spear, right at All for One, exploded in him. Yeah. So then he used, like, he used his own version, the big hand one, as he grabs the All for One, as he throws All for One, and he grabs All for One, was about to, like, or actually slam him down, like, pick him up, slam him down. And then he created basically every, like, that aimed right at All for One. Like, he used the combined of the Black Lantern and his own quirk, because he was born as a Black Lantern. And he combined his attack. As he says, darkness, shadow. Or, no, not darkness, shadow. It's darkness, spear. As a giant-sized arrow pierced right through All for One. And yeah, it obliterated All for One. So, yeah, it disintegrated him to death. Because he was new, he's still getting used to this new power that he has. So he kind of went overboard with it. AKA, he killed the League of Villains and All for One accidentally. And, yeah. So then the Zuko turns around as he looks at All Might and smiles. Let's help those people that are in need. As he uses his hands again, these things, but they're like blackish color. So he picks the debris up, and like he had multiple like of them, and he opens portals and he's clearing out the entire thing by himself, and they're like looking at him like, here, because you can't see my face because, yeah, but I'll give you here, my hero shock faces, and as everyone, here, trying to find the picture, as everyone had the same like face as what Ochako is. Wide eyes, just to clarify. See? And they did not realize that. So, as All Might asks, who are you, and are you a student of Class 1A? As he says, nope, just your average citizen that was just walking past, and my body, he told me that you were in trouble. So, I helped you. Okay? So, then they're like, man, if a citizen could do that much power, because they heard about lanterns that they have to, if they were born as a lantern, they had to be born with a ring on their pinky when they were young. But Zuko was born as everything type. So, because they could see, or actually one of the pussycats when was like read the entire body thing of Zuko, and what she found, or actually he went to, or they went to Recovery Girl, and they did or they asked Recovery Girl to do like a DNA scan thing. Well, Zuko, or they're like, okay, here you go. So then they used to draw some blood out. And Recovery Girl was like looking into her computer. But what she found, and Zuko, or she says, whoa. What's going on? He's born as everything type. As everyone was like, wait, so you're saying that he was born with everything? The all type? Him? Yeah. He was born all types. So he's quirkless, quirked, name, ability, and lantern, and and everybody was like, holy crud. Because in that above thing, there's like the all part, it's like the S tier version. It was like good, or no, quirkless, quirked, ability, lantern, and an all. Well, Zuko is on a very tippity-toppity. As everybody's like, and that spot where Zuko is at, like tippity-toppity one, that's what I'm calling it. He's has the infinity money. Basically, whoever's in that tippity-toppity thing, they have has the infinity money. Basically, way more than the quirkless, or actually, way more than quirks, abilities, and everything. It would make Momo's is like family's business is looked like it was a child's play, like play toy theme, because Zuko was so like in that tier list. As Zuko looks over, that's interesting. My quirk doctor said that I was just quirkless. And they looked at him and they're like, I think the quirk doctor lied to you, because you're the tippity toppity thing. You know that means, right? You're the most richest person in the entire universe. You can own everything. If you want a certain person, and you can buy them. Yeah. But you can buy planets, everything. As Zuko's like, as he walks away, he's just like a little bit surprised about it. I'm trying to think. Where is it? So this is what Zuko looked like when he was like, whoa. So Asashi, or actually that part about him finding a new job thing, was actually he didn't find he does love his pro hero job. It's just if he's scavenging the world for any any new villains is hotspots things, like villain shows up. Well, Zuko was on the when All Might called Asashi and told him that his son Zuko, or actually All Might tells Asashi that he needs to come back right now. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. But your son, you might want to hear this. Okay. So then he goes back to town. And then he ends up telling, All Might tells Hisashi that he has the son that is in the tippity toppity, basically everything. And when Hisashi heard that, and he's wondering, what do you mean? Well, he could not believe it, first of all. Then when All Might told him that your son has a quirk, your son has the ability of infinity and zero, and your son is also is basically a powerhouse. Basically, he is born as a lantern, as when that lantern part got to Hisashi was like, holy crud. So you're saying that my son is so powerful. He's on the tippity toppity? Holy crud. As he calls Inko, who was in the showers. So then after she was done showering, she basically calls right back. Or actually, when she got dressed and came out, as Zumi was there, and she told Inko Oh, about her brother, the one that was the that her brother. Sorry, I'm trying to think. That Zumi says to Inko that Zuko, who is was they bumped up to the tippity toppity, like basically, yeah. Like I'll just say ultimate category, like super legendary, rare her category. Yeah, super ultimate legendary. Yeah, basically, he's a pinnacle of it. So then Inko was like, wait, slow down. Wait, you said your brother's in like the super like pinnacle of everything. Yeah, you must be drinking, or you must have been hanging out with your friends too long. No, I'm not. I I'm been. So then a detective shows up before, and when he told her that um, Zumi was speaking the truth thing, and and Inko was like could not believe it. So then she goes over her and to like see Zuko, and of course he shows his quirk of flames. It was black flames, but he could control it. He used his powers of like the lantern, lanterns. He created a shield. He created the giant hands. His eyes turns different colors. That he used his powers of infinity and zero, and of course his. So then Inko was like, "Why did? Tell me what happened when the." So Zuko, so the recovery girl says that his quirk back then was delayed because is it something like wrong with him? No. His body wasn't ready for it yet until that very full moment. So, yeah. So Zuko ends up being so he basically yeah. So they were like, you're the first person ever to reach the pinnacle. Not, no one actually went to that tippity toppity thing until you showed up, Zuko. You're the first person, as All Might says. Even Endeavor says it too. Sorry. So, yeah. So then Zuko is like, man. Yeah. So then he became like, he can do anything. So he trains more at the school. He got transferred from the quirkless school to the quirked school, where there he can use his abilities, quirks, and yeah, he can. And Bakugo's like, man, I wish I was you, Zuko. Who? That would have been insane. I mean, born with everything, fingers up, or like, as everyone was like, is happy about it. That they wish that they were with Zuko, or that they were with, or was born with that tier list thing, the top tier. Yeah. They, he, or the people that are on the, like, the very tippity-toppity one, where Zuko's at, everyone has treated him as a, I always, like, try to say it, but he's in the, like, they all treat him as a God. Gun. Hun. I spelt it out so that they, okay, so the, basically Zuko was treated as a entity. Basically worshipped by everybody. So he ends up, his Midoriya family, his money thing went from like $1,000 per day to bumped it up to higher than Momo's to infinity amount. So basically, because Sashi told Inko the reason why that he was looking for a job thing is not, he loves the his hero job, but not in the same, he wants to see the everything else. Like, he wants to go home and find some other villain from a different state. As Inko understands, as she said, I thought you were gonna cheat on me with like another girl. As Zuko, or as Sashi says, heck no. Oh, I actually wasn't planning to do that. That if it was like, okay, so yeah, so then Zuko just walks around, and his, yeah. So his sister, and they're like, he's cool, yeah. So basically, yeah. How long has this video been? Oh, yep. So I'm skipping the overhaul fight, and of course, I'm putting. Actually, I am thinking about adding Ochako into the. Yeah. So, or actually, I'm trying to think, but maybe And I'll just add Ochako because I already have a certain character that will be added into this story, but I think I'll remake it when I feel like it, like when I promised to like. Okay, so peace out, y'all. Peace.